Hi, Liverpool fans. What a game we just had, right? We're back. Liverpool is back. And after losing six of our last seven games, right, our worst run since 2009, right, the Red needs a performance that showed structure, control, and belief. And against an informed Aston Villa, going into this game, I was thinking Aston Villa on the rise, Liverpool on the down low end. But you saw what happened, right? Right. So in this video, we'll break down Liverpool's pressing triggers, our midfield balance, and the right side overloads that endorse the vital to new win. And this win came just in time for our Real Madrid and Manchester City games coming up. Okay. All right. So the first half, in fact, the first 2 minutes 30 seconds was all about setting the tone, right? Both sides started with a 4-2-3-1 formation, but the difference was the intent in that formation, right? For Liverpool, Ryan Gravenberch return from injury was a massive boost, right? A 6 foot outlet who dropped between our centre backs, right? Between Van Dijk and Konate. And he was dictating tempo. He was the one driving. Right from the very opening minute, you could feel the rhythm returning. And Salah and Szoboszlai's link up were just beautiful. I think it's a sign to come that we need more wins under our belt to grow our confidence. Right now, let's talk about our ball progression and our switches in play. Right, Liverpool's build up was deliberate. Right, Robertson, Konate constantly switched play to stretch Aston Villa's midfield. So Robertson was switching all the way to Salah on the opposite side, while Konate was switching to Gakpo. And I love whenever we do that, right? Robertson's diagonal balls were always finding Salah. Konate's diagonal was hitting, going straight to Gakpo on the opposite side. We're completely skipping the midfield battle that Aston Villa had prepared for us, right? And so we're forcing Aston Villa to go fight for those balls. And Salah's ability to draw the ball down, Konate's ability to draw and then cut in, right? So right. And the next thing I want to talk about will be our pressing triggers. Liverpool's press was very, very patient. Right. We did not jump early into presses. The triggers came out. The triggers came once the balls crossed the halfway line. I noticed that whenever we just let Aston Villa hold on to the ball, let them hold on to the ball and dance around with it left or right. But the moment they crossed the halfway line, were attacking them, were pressing, and it was intense, right? Our main press triggers were Szoboszlai and Ekitike. They will spring the trap, and Villa will lose control. This happened many, many times in the game. And moments later, Liverpool score through that intensity, right? Our pressing leads to a goal, and sadly, the goal was an offside, but it showed what's to come in that game, right? It was just a hint of what was going to happen next, right? It was time aggression, right? The aggression wasn't just being aggressive for aggression's sake. It was a very clean game, right? I think we had we had two yellow cards, one for Van Dijk and the other one was for Szoboszlai when he was teasing the Aston Villa, Unai Emery's coach, right? Aston Villa's coach, right? So our pressing was not chaotic, but it was a form of coordinated aggression, right? And when it comes to midfield balance, behind that press, McAllister quietly ran the show. He had a very sublime game, right? It wasn't quiet in terms of disappearing from the game. It was quiet in terms of controlling things like the gangmaster behind the scene, right? The switch controller was always covering for Ryan and Dom whenever they surge forwards. Robertson even stepped into the second striker position like once or twice. I was so surprised to see Robertson being up there, and it was a nice twist because that gave the Aston Villa defense something to think about and they had an extra man to worry about. While Bradley was bombing forward steadily, right? It was forming triangles with Salah and Szoboszlai. The right side was electric throughout this game. Salah's creativity, he pulled defenders in, giving Gakpo those 1v1 moments, right? So Salah would pull defenders in from into the on the left hand side of the pitch, will pull all of Aston Villa's players towards that, and then Gakpo will be free one-on-one on his man, and they will make the switch to Gakpo. I love whenever that happened, and we know Gakpo trademark, right? He gets the ball, he cuts in, and he shoots. He had about 3-4 shots doing just that, right? So our transitions and second half changes. Villa opened the second half trying to press shots, right? They were trying to pass short passes from the back of the net or from the back. but our press was still forcing mistakes on them. Eventually, they switched to a long ball, and I think this very second long ball they switched to immediately let it go. We pounced on it and let it go as well. So Salah's brilliant overhead ball finds gap. Another example of control transition, right? It was quick, direct, and clinical. I think the only thing missing from today's game was beating our offside traps and putting our chances away. This game was easily going to be more than 2-0. And then when we had the possession right, we switched to a three at the back with Gravenberch or McAllister sliding in to help build up from the defense, right? And our defense solidity and clean sheets. After 6 weeks without a clean sheet, the back four finally looks settled, right? Konate, Bradley, Van Dijk, and Robertson. Quick question, right? Do you guys think this should be our back four, our standard back four going forward? Because Frimpong can't seem to beat injury. Kakes is just not getting into the flow of Liverpool's tempo, right? Our back four, we kept our shape, we won well, and we denied Villa any clear route through the midfield. The timing of the press, only engaging a pass halfway, ensured that the line stayed compact, right? And a 2-0 win that does more than bring 3 points, right? It restores our identity. Gravenberch gave balance, McAllister covered relentlessly, and Salah reached his 250th Liverpool goal, the third most highest goal scorer for Liverpool. But for me, the man of the match was Dominik Szoboszlai. The energy, the creativity, and the discipline. If anything we could say about Szoboszlai is it would always come with his energy. So for now, we go second on the table, and we head into the clash with City and Madrid full of confidence. So let me know what you guys think. So that's my take on Liverpool's 2-0 victory over Aston Villa. Who impressed you the most, Salah, Dom, or Gravenberch? And here's a question for you. Who should take Liverpool free kicks, right? Drop your thoughts below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, leave a like and subscribe for more tactical weekly analysis. Peace out.